For the past 3 days, I've been wanting to head out on the highway again. It's the heat and also the boredom. I play many instruments, guitar being the prime. I write music, play music. To another, it just might be an exciting adventure. But for me, after all these years, I need to get away from it all for a short while. For 3 days, I wanted to head out. Through these 3 days, after paying my dues, Saturday night was an unbound time to leave immediately. So in the evening around 6, 7, I prepared and I just left for the highways. It was 7 p.m. when I finally broke cover. I headed for NH75, the Bangalore highway, the artery that leads out. The first hour to Nelamangala was a crawl, a battle with 1,000 red eyes, traffic lights, gridlock. I remember a different version of this place, a garden city it was, an old world charm, a peace that didn't require an escape. Times have changed. Now it's just LED, blinding LEDs everywhere, and high-flying modern world. I hadn't booked a room for the night. And today was Saturday. All the rooms are going to be taken already for sure. At the Nelamangala point during the coffee break, I had to call Oyo for a room. The guy at the other end of the line, he seemed to be more interested in closing the call than getting a booking. Must have been their reasonable KRS, their corporate KRS. And then the communication difference. I had to water down my pronunciation in order to make myself understood. I got a booking, but there was a big diversion, a big disaster to avoid. Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because of all this, by the end of the night, had averted a huge disaster of ending up at a wrong place, some 20 kilometers away, inside a town away from the highway. And then something struck to me, and then I thought I should call the number from the booking. And when I called them, I realized that the hotel called New Rock. Now I realize it is New Rock. All this while I was thinking it was some other place called DSK Residency or some sort of that. And then I realized the booking was at New Rock, but it mentioned nowhere in the WhatsApp message that I got. So I called New Rock and checked if I had a booking. It took 2 calls for me to find out that, of course, I had a booking. But they didn't have my number, so they couldn't reach me. So it was up to me to have called them. And I realized it was just about 500 meters away from where I had stopped during all this on the highway. Thankfully, I got a room and it's close by, on the highway. Earlier, Bangalore Cross, where I originally wanted to pit stop, had no rooms available, and this junction was just a few kilometers away from Hirisevi. Apparently, there was a major wedding in the area, and all the rooms at Bangalore Cross were already booked. And I found the same thing at around New Rock. The second thing I like about highway hotels is just that. Apart from riding on the open highways, I just love checking into highway hotels. I like looking out of the window and hearing and watching the vehicles zoom by, especially in the nights. It makes me happy and nostalgic. The silent void of the open areas, broken suddenly by a car or truck zooming by. And you always hear the night insects, the crickets singing. And sometimes you hear distant music coming from festivities or a drama or a music festival going on in a very distant town. And then when you relish the views and the sounds, you come back to the bed, have a little bite, plan for the next day, and hit the snooze button. The starting night is always exciting, as tomorrow brings the adventure that lays ahead. Hey guys, it's going to be 9 o'clock in the morning today. It's Sunday, May the 3rd. Yesterday I left ACS layout at around 7 o'clock, right? And it was a 2-hour ride to this place, this Oyo Room New Rock Hotel. And I'm going towards Koranarasipura, and then on to Bisle Ghat, and then to Kuki Subramania. And from there, Kuke to Sulia to Bhagamandala where Talakaveri is. And from there, I'm looking to go towards Napko, I forgot the name, but basically towards Virajpet. So that's the adventure ride today. Solo bike ride from Bangalore to Kodugu. All right. Highway at last, the one thing I've been chasing for 3 long days. Out here the air changes. Underneath me the iron horse finds its rhythm, galloping over the long winding spine of the asphalt. The hustle, the crowded streets, the constant noise of the city, it all falls away, swallowed by the steady roar of the wind. This is the only place where the world finally feels wide enough. Earlier on, I got up after a good restful sleep. My bones and joints were happy to have regenerated. I get up this daylight scene from last night. A shower and a fresh set of jeans and sleeveless t-shirt and the leather. The leather and the jeans are my armor. I have faith in my riding and in my road sense, so I don't need to gear up like a medieval warrior. the soul of the highway is the pause. We're talking about the break first break. I always loved roadside stops, those islands of light in the middle of nowhere. There's a specific kind of comfort in pulling over. The smell of hot oil and cooling metal mingling with the aroma of kitchen that never closes. Digging into a meal while the world rushes by its ritual is more than just food. It's a moment of truce between me and the machine. A bit of fuel for the rider and a well-earned rest for the horse. We sit there together in the half-light of the roadside dinner, catching our breath before we head back out into the road, ready for whatever the next curve has in store. Reaching Animahal at Sakleshpur was a breeze, but for the traffic bottleneck at the Hassan bypass. I've done this route in my earlier trips, and I'm familiar and comfortable with the smooth concrete highway and the scenic pleasantness from Hassan to Sakleshpur. It takes about an hour and a half to reach Animahal, and here is where I had to refuel and take a break. Once you cross this path, fuel availability is rare, so no chance taken. The road to Bisle Ghat is a left deviation at the Manjarabad fort. I almost missed it. And then when I took this route, I entered the land of evergreen foliage and biodiversity. It's the road less taken. Why would anyone want to take this route? Major destinations along this route is basically Bangalore and North Kerala. There are better routes to Bangalore and North Kerala. But this route, it takes you to Kukke Subramania. And even to Kukke Subramania, there is a direct route via Gundia. So basically this route is redundant. It's an offbeat route no one takes. That's the route the Iron Horse and the Leather Jacket Warrior is riding right now. Clean country roads, no sign of neon lights or even highway lights. Just biodiversity and the rural folks who live a kilometer away from each other. And I'm surprised the roads are not bad. They've tried their best to patch up the bad areas, but the road is drivable. A highlight point in this route is the Hittur village. Anyways, I reached Bisle Ghat viewpoint around 1:30 p.m. The last few kilometers through absolutely dense green forest with no connection to the outside world. There's no network, there are no lights, and a night drive is just out of the question. It's just asking for major trouble. But I think the authorities, they don't allow vehicles on this route after 6 p.m. Hey guys, so I've reached Bisle Ghat. It's about 2:15 now, and I rode from Sakleshpur via Hassan, Sakleshpur, then hit Toor, and then came to Bisle Ghat. This is my first time here, so this is a view of three mountain ranges: Pushpagiri and Kumara Parvata, and also one more I don't recollect right now. So I'm here at the moment. I remember doing a Kumara Parvata trek twice back in the late 90s when I was a lot younger. But I've never been to Bisle Ghat, and this is Bisle Ghat. It's a beautiful spot, this one is. So this morning I had left Hiriseve from the Oyo accommodation at around 10 a.m. and then hit the road I wanted to. The Google Map showed me a route via, what is the name of the place? I forgot. So anyway, so it was not the Hassan route, but I took the Hassan route because I just couldn't do that route. Remembering the last time I had taken it, was so bad. So this time I took the Hassan route via Sakleshpur. And I think I reached here around 1:30 p.m. The roads are good. The Ghat sections are a little rubbly, but not so bad as Sirsi Ghat. Sirsi Ghat is terrible, but this is manageable and it was good. Now on to Koke Subramania, which is just about some 25 kilometers, 28 kilometers from here. Yep. I left the viewpoint around 2:30 p.m. and had just 25 kilometers to Koke Subramania. But it was through the road less trodden and the forbidden route. Out here, you are on your own. There's no network, no connect to the outside world. And for a solo bike rider, the risks doubles and triples. If something goes wrong with the bike, and mine is a tube-tired, old-fashioned wheels, this and the isolation can lead you to a major disaster. If the winding route through dense, thick forest isn't scary enough, that situation is. But the experience of riding through the route is priceless. The Jawa stood up and the scenic views is worth the risk. I intended to reach Koke in about an hour's time, take a lunch break and head on to Sulia, carry on to Bhagamandala and so on. But things don't happen as they planned. Things change. The reason for me to take the Sulia route is to chase a mountain view on the Kukke to Madikeri route. But did I get the view? No. Many factors. The lunch ran into 2 hours, and by the time I left, the day was passing into dusk. Though I avoided the short route to Madikeri, yes, there is a short route to Madikeri. Instead of going to Sulia, you can take a shortcut, but I didn't take that. I just wanted to see the mountain view, the beautiful mountain view. A sheer flat face of the mountain, so close to the road on the left side, and beautiful flora and fauna on the right. This I passed back in the late 2000s when I did a similar car trip from Bangalore to the last point of Coorg called Kutta, via Kukke of course, in my first car, a Santro. Oh, those were the days. But this time, this route, unfortunately, was going to be shrouded in darkness of the late evening and night hours. Even if I passed the same view, I was going to miss it. In fact, I was going to miss all of the views that comes along from Sulia to Madikeri, which the route offered. What a regret. But that's part of traveling. Things are not going to happen as planned. You have to learn to circumvent the situations. So I had to skip also the Talakaveri Bhagamandala route to Virajpet and take the Madikeri to Virajpet instead. And I hope to cover the Bhagamandala Talakaveri route another day. So last night, I reached Madikeri around 8 p.m. As usual, had no booking. And the Oyo person that I called put me on hold and she just went away. Yes, she just abandoned me. I was stranded there in the capital, one of the streets, and I was trying to book a hotel. And this person just put me on hold and she went away. So I started thinking, who can I reach out to? The best people to reach out to during the desperate time are the local auto guys. Yes, the local auto guys. The second auto guy I spoke to, he knew somebody and he got me a room. Not great, but a decent place to pit stop. I don't even remember the name of the place. But it put me up for the night right in the center of the capital town. I spent a couple of hours outside in the town getting a feel of it before calling in the night. But it was good fun. Today I leisurely left Madikeri around 11 a.m. After going down, descending a couple of kilometers, I soon realized that the Jawa chain needs lubrication. So turned right around and checked with a couple of auto guys and then found the spare part shop. By the time I lubricated the bike and started the descent once again, it was around 12 noon. But that's okay, I had the entire day ahead of me and I didn't want to reach Bangalore during peak traffic time. I wanted to reach Bangalore somewhere around 11 or 12 when there was no traffic. Alright, so 12 noon, descending towards Virajpet and Gonikoppa, riding the Jawa 300 on a fantastic bright sunny day. It's a beautiful day for a ride and it feels absolutely amazing. And we're going to ride the heart of Coorg. The thought of it makes my heart sing. on would ride. Forest highways conquered with pride. The road is a mirror, the man is you. Let the shadows slide by you. After an hour and a half, reached the town of Gonikoppa, where I'd be halting for lunch and a break. Earlier, around 12:30, I stopped at Murnad for cold coffee break. Then there was no reason to stop at Virajpet, so just passed through the town around 1 p.m. Here I am at Gonikoppa. The time is now 1:30. The last stop in Coorg before I hit the roads towards Mysore, and then on to Kanakpura Road and then home. 3 days, 2 wheels, and a lot of empty road. Everything just fell away. From the mist of the Ghats to the heart of the hills, I didn't just find a way home. I found the rhythm I'd been missing. The engine's cooling down, the dust is settling, but the ride never really ends.